Great to see all the teachers here today, standing up for teachers, and just to talk a little bit about legislation that's going on. I'm State Senator Eric Stewart. Great to have Representative McDonald here today to talk to you a little bit about it. First, I want to say that there's been a lot of talk and a lot of discussion about some of the legislation that's coming down being tagged as education reform. I first want to say that the proposals that are being made really do absolutely nothing to improve a test score. They do absolutely nothing to shrink class sizes. They do absolutely nothing to improve education in Tennessee. I think regardless of which side you're on, that's what we're after. It's really finding that reform and really finding a way to improve public education in Tennessee. Quite honestly, I don't think you can do that by excluding teachers. We have to be doing that by including teachers. My wife's a teacher, has been for 17 years. She's here somewhere today. I can tell you what teachers go through on a daily basis. They're not just dealing anymore with, they're not dealing anymore with 100% of kids showing up ready to learn, having had a good night's sleep, having had a good meal when they come in. Folks, these guys have a tough job. A tough job that doesn't just start at 8 and end at 3 o'clock. It's not just for 9 months of the year. These folks have the important job of preparing the students for the future, and the future is going to lead our state. It's going to lead our country. So we really need to work hard to bring them to the table. There's been a lot of talk about some of the other bills, some of them in committee today, and I'll be the first to tell you that some of them certainly need conversation. We certainly need to discuss some of them, but the tone that has been brought out with the proposal of some of these bills do not get us to the ends to those means. They do not get us to where we need to be talking about the problems of reforming education. Education reform's a tough job. I don't have all the answers. But I can tell you what, when I was in school as a child all the way up through high school, if I had a problem, I asked the teacher. I didn't push him away. So it's great to be here and look forward to any of your questions.
Representative McDonald.
I too want to thank you for being here. I was a classroom teacher for 30 years, not in K through 12, but at Austin Peay State University and Volunteer State Community College. I think I know something about the interaction between teacher and student. And ladies and gentlemen, abolishing collective bargaining does nothing to improve the interaction between teacher and student. The punitive bills that have been proposed by some legislators, incidentally those legislators have never taught in a public school, will do nothing to improve teacher-student interaction. A teacher's work environment, ladies and gentlemen, is a child's learning environment. And these bills are hurting both. They're hurting both right now. In fact, House Bill 130 and the other anti-teacher bills are not reform or improvement. These bills are regressive. They're going to set us back. Here's what these politically motivated punitive bills will do. They will demoralize, insult, and demean our hard-working teachers in Tennessee. Some of our teachers may retire. Some of our teachers may quit. Some of our teachers may move out of state, like some teachers in my district did because they could get better pay in Georgia. And for those teachers who stay, their passion for helping their students may simply wither. That's not good for education in Tennessee. And third, these anti-teacher bills will discourage college students from wanting to become teachers. There's already a shortage of math and science teachers. Everybody knows that. Half of all the new teachers quit in the first 5 years now. That is a tragedy in this country. Most importantly, these politically motivated bills will be detrimental to our students. Why do teachers teach in the first place? To help students achieve. And this is going to be detrimental to our students. I want to say a word to the parents across the state of Tennessee. When you abolish the voice of the professionals who work with your children on a daily basis, it will have a negative impact on your children. a demoralized teacher for their child? Why do the proponents of these politically motivated bills want to demoralize the very teachers who are there to help our children succeed?
Political payback.
Guys, we got time for just a few questions.
I have a question over here for Speaker Williams. I couldn't help but notice you are a Republican. You are standing with this group. Are you supportive?
I'm very interested in learning everything I can about this legislation. I'm trying to comprehend why we even have this legislation with the important issues we're facing today. Last year we made such gains in education with Race to the Top, and I'm so proud of the teachers. They gave up some things in that legislation, but it was good legislation. Anybody in this legislative plaza, everybody here knows, this is a slap in the face to the teachers in the state.
In the House that you believe feel the same way you do?
I know there are.
What's going to happen to this legislation in the House?
I don't think the legislation will pass in the House. I think there is enough common sense Republicans, as myself, to kill this piece of legislation. We, like someone said, this is our teachers spend more time with our children than we do. Without my teachers growing up, oh gosh, I don't know where I'd be today. I might be out picking oranges in Florida or something, but nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I'm proud to support our teachers. I'm not a union person, never belonged to a union, probably never will. But we're infringing on people's rights, on our citizens' rights, and it's just not right. Like I said, we've got too many important issues than to have a politically motivated legislation, like I said, that attacks teachers. And, you know, and I'd like to ask the sponsors, and I will when it comes to committee, I will ask them if they would have gotten the political contributions that they demanded from the TEA, would we have this legislation today? I doubt.
We go from reform to attack. I mean, because a lot of people have said, okay, let's talk about some changes, but where can you pinpoint it goes from reform to attack by your language?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, with tenure and education reforms we talked about, they're all conversations worth having. You know, collective bargaining, even though I don't agree with getting away with it, it's a conversation worth having. Tenure, a conversation worth having. The fact of the matter is that these bills do not come at improving education, and the tone in which they were brought on yields no one to sit down and talk and figure out and find out what the best reforms for education are. The tone that they were brought on has been, as you can see from a lot of the comments that were made in a lot of different media outlets, the tone is that we're in charge and you hadn't supported us, so get ready to pay the price. That's what the tone has been. That tone leads to nothing at all that's productive with education reform.
So just so I'm clear, not so much the wording, but how it's been brought about is really.
Well, I think we have to get past the tone and really sit down and want to work with folks before we can even start talking about the wording. I think that there are serious consequences with anything that you do with regards to teaching and tenure and collective bargaining, but we're never even going to be able to talk about it if we don't start changing the tone and really start talking about improving education for students in Tennessee.
Senator, Governor Haslam has tried to keep the teacher tenure legislation separate from the union legislation and such, and he says he's not bringing this as any sort of punitive manner. It's to advance education reform and such. Do you reject that? Or
no, I think Governor Haslam probably is sincere about wanting to talk about it. I think the problem is that maybe they should have sat down and had some more talks and planned their work a little better than they did, because that's certainly not the way that it's coming out right now.
And just to follow up, Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey says that basically you guys are just following, you've gotten all this money from Republican or from unions, and the unions are telling you what to do.
Yeah, well, I only answer to my guy and my wife, and you know, it's kind of odd that they bring up political contributions and the fact that y'all are only supporting teachers because of the political contributions. The fact of the matter is that teachers appreciate the folks on my side of the aisle because we show appreciation, dedication.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.